From the UNT System Studios inside the Lee Jackson UNT System building in downtown Dallas, this is Deconstructing Dallas. Greetings, everyone. This is your host, Ryan Trimble, joined today by the muscular Sean Williams. Sean, good day, sir.
What's up, man? That was a mouthful. Congratulations on being able to. It's not your normal high top the Alameda Studios.
That's right. Well, thank you for making me write it down.
As we, that's what are teammates for?
Hey,
you know,
you're a good man. Good looking out.
As we would say at Texas A&M, good bull, man. Good bull. So it is really good to be downtown here at the UNT System building. Like, I've got so much history following UNT Dallas that I'm really looking forward to the conversation that we're going to have a little bit later. And it is really a neat place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so our listeners know, this is, I call it a special episode. Maybe it's just a unique episode. We had the opportunity to come down and record today's episode at the UNT System Studios here, and it's a great setup. We really appreciate the folks at UNT System and all their assistance in setting this up. But
here pretty soon we're going to start, and I don't want to give too much away, but we're going to do a Facebook Live on one of our upcoming episodes of our podcast. But we need to make sure to let everybody know the difference between these wonderful studios that we're in right now and our mobile studio, I'll just call it, which looks a whole lot different.
That's great. And the Allen Media Worldwide Headquarters Studios, Sean, high atop 2 Turtle Creek.
We may need to just do a little bit of housekeeping in the studio if we're going to be doing Facebook.
Probably need to vacuum, take out the trash.
So take out the trash for sure if we're going to be doing that.
Well, Sean, I am really excited today. We are going to have I'll say recently appointed, I won't say new anymore, the recently appointed Chancellor of the UNT System. She is Lesa Roe. She is such a neat lady, Sean. When it was announced that she was the finalist for the job, I was very excited. She is a former astronaut. Well, I guess you're always an astronaut once you're an astronaut, right?
We are very fortunate to have someone who spent 33 years at NASA just here in our community, number one, but to be a leader in our community, it's really exciting.
Yeah, it's a great addition, strong female leadership. It's a great new direction for the UNT system, both the flagship, UNT Dallas, the law school.
UNT Health Science Center. The entire system is benefiting from her leadership.
That's right. So it's really exciting. And
you mentioned, we are in the Lee Jackson UNT system building here. And, again, kudos to Judge Lee Jackson for all the work that he did with the UNT system. And, we could rattle off names of folks who have been instrumental in the success of this system and the success of UNT Dallas, which is, again, very important to me. A lot of work by Senator Royce West, by Representative Helen Giddings to get UNT Dallas where it is. But Lee Jackson and the system-wide impact, I think it's very fitting that he have his name on the building.
Yeah, absolutely. He did such great work and really brought this university system to the forefront and, was on the forefront of bringing it up to a Tier 1 research university. A lot of different efforts that he led. He and Margaret are also really great folks. Just glad that they've chosen to honor him by putting his name on the building.
Yeah, with just a flagship university in Denton, we're talking about, 40,000 students, more than 200 degree programs. And that's what people generally think of when you hear UNT. But now I think people are understanding more about the system, understanding the difference between the Denton campus and the UNT Dallas campus. As you mentioned, the College of Law, which is kind of catty corner to the building that we're in now, which is a really neat thing. I got a chance to sit next to Dean Epps, the new dean for the College of Law or the School of Law, and then the Health Science Center in Fort Worth. So I think, you got the UT system, you got the A&M system. The UNT system is now becoming and has become a leader in education for our state.
Yeah, and being in, downtown Dallas, having a presence right in the heart of downtown Dallas is really, I think it's important, especially knowing the kind of growth and, the expectations for the future of the state of Texas as far as getting people across graduation stages. They're really well positioned. And Sean, if I may, really fun UNT law story for you. I had the opportunity to assist assist Chairman Branch in getting the Jack Pope legal book collection up here. And he was kind enough, the former chair of the the former Chief Justice of the Texas Supreme Court, Jack Pope. And he donated, prior to his passing, he donated his entire legal book collection to the UNT School of Law. So it will be on display. And it's a really neat collection. He signed every one of those books. And so it's a really neat piece of Texas history right here in the heart of our great city.
In my brain, and it probably did not go down this way, but I just see you in your truck going to pick the books up and loading them in your truck and bringing them here to the system building. It probably did not.
They trusted me with yard signs and swag, not legal, books? Not historic law books.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know for sure if you had been asked, you would have done it for sure.
Yes. No job too small, Sean.
Well, we are again excited about our conversation today with Chancellor Lesa Roe, and we're excited to chat with her. We will be back right after this break. Sean Williams, Ryan Trimble, Deconstructing Dallas. Be right back.
Together we.
Like the Tower Green to celebrate victory.
Together we
are building Dallas's emerging urban university.
Together we
are finding ways to fight Alzheimer's disease.
We are the University of North Texas, the UNT Health Science Center, and the University of North Texas at Dallas. Together we are the UNT System. To learn more about the UNT System, visit untsystem.edu.
Welcome back, Deconstructing Dallas, Ryan Trimble, Sean Williams, and we are so excited today, Sean, to be joined by a recent addition to the Dallas-Fort Worth community. She is Chancellor of the UNT System, new Chancellor of the UNT System, Lesa Roe. Chancellor, welcome.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here. This is exciting. I'm not feeling so new anymore. I got 8 months under my belt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And these days, that's a long time. We first off, again, welcome to Dallas. And, Ryan and I were both at the Dallas Regional Chamber speech that you gave, and we got to hear a little bit of your background. But I really wanted you to share with our listeners, and we'll have an opportunity to learn more about you. But you talked about being a first-generation college student yourself. So can you just tell us a little bit about your background growing up in Florida and kind of before you kind of started your professional career?
Yeah, sure. So before I started my professional career, I grew up in Gainesville, Florida, and I talked a bit about working as long as I could remember in the Dallas Regional Chamber, and quite frankly, that's true. From pulling corn in my grandfather's field to babysitting to working at Wendy's, and then to eventually getting to head to the University of Florida and getting my undergraduate degree, and so the bottom line is just the power of a degree makes all the difference in the world, and I would not have been able to do that without a university right there in my hometown, so that I could live at home and do that. So that's why I'm just so excited to be part of the University of North Texas system. And now we have, in Southern Dallas, our University of North Texas Dallas campus, and I see it making that kind of difference for the students there.
But to have so many non-traditional students, obviously UNT Dallas, but throughout the system, and their chancellor worked at Wendy's. That's something a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And so you went from Wendy's to the University of Florida to NASA.
Right.
Tell us about how did this come about? How did you end up starting your career at NASA?
Well, see, that's another thing that I just, and if I'm talking to students, that's what I talk about. Is I said, get an internship, get a co-op. So I was able to go to our career center and at the University of Florida, and they connected me with NASA, and I was able to get a co-op position there and work every other semester down at NASA, which is just incredibly awesome. But it also helped to pay for my college, and so that's the kind of thing that really connected me. And then, of course, it built my confidence, let me know, wow, that I can do this engineering thing. I'm going to be able to do this. And it also, NASA wanted to hire me after that. So that's something exciting, and that started my career.
And you 33 years, I believe? 33
years.
At NASA, and working all the way up to acting deputy director.
Right. I was the acting deputy director, second in command for NASA when I left.
And so, I like space. I've seen a lot of great movies. But I mean, what are some of the things, and because it relates to so much around the STEM education that we're talking about, STEM. But you really got to see in action what those numbers, what that science study, how it actuates into actual technology, actual things that we take into space. Can you talk about some of the things that you saw as director and through your time?
Well, see, I think that's the cool thing I think for students and for me was really getting to see things in work. That's what made it exciting. That's when things started to click. And so for the kind of things that we were doing are things that, people thought were impossible in the past, right? In NASA. So the missions were, landing on Mars and so we just had so many exciting missions there.
Incredible.
And the kind of the connection also with our students this fall, our students entering will never have lived a day without humans in space. And so that's pretty crazy. So we are, a spacefaring nation, and we've had a large, football field size house going orbiting around the Earth now for 18 years, and so pretty exciting stuff. Human tenant for 18 years, and then just missions that are discovering the origins of our universe. This is civilization changing science and taking instruments up that can look back to galaxies being formed at the same time that our galaxy, we're getting that light today for when those things happen, and that's kind of like mind blowing, So
in a former career, I worked at IBM, so it probably had to be the late '90s when one of the rovers landed on Mars, and that was kind of a big deal for us. Was watching that and taking the panoramic views, and just here we are 20 years later, and all the different things that we're seeing in our space program is pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing, and if our listeners could only see the Chancellor's eyes light up when she talks about this stuff, I can tell you're passionate about this, and so I can tell you're passionate about learning and passing on this thirst for knowledge to the next generation. So tell us about what you found, and tell us about the learners you found throughout the system, the UNT system, and what surprised you. What's been your favorite part of the job so far?
Well, I tell you, coming on board, one of the things, I know that was the first week on the job. From a pleasantly surprising thing is the caring on our university. You could feel it when you walked around. It's palpable. You can feel how much, and that's each one of our campuses, just how much caring there is there. And then I was just stunned, as I've learned more and more about all that we do. We have 270 degree programs across our 3 universities, and we cover all areas that really drive, it's the economic engine for a community, just from a range from health sciences all the way to engineering, all the way to mental health, all the way to bilingual education. It just this wide range, which has just been pretty exciting to be a part of and to realize the difference that we're making in the things that we do. So I think that's been, maybe I knew it, but it's been surprising. And I can tell you, I went through 10 graduations this fall, I'm sorry, this spring. And my board chair even said, "Well, that's above and beyond, Chancellor." kind of like, you're kind of crazy, but in doing that, looking out into that audience. So I was at the Health Science Center, and just looking out to some 700 students there graduating that day, doctors and pharmacists, and just thinking of all the future lives we're going to touch by that graduating class. That's just pretty incredible.
This is Deconstructing Dallas. Sean Williams, Ryan Trimble. We are talking to one of our new neighbors, UNT System Chancellor Lesa Roe. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about some of the great things going on in UNT System. Also talk about something near and dear to my heart, UNT Dallas. So again, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Hey, this is Sean. This week I finally made it to an appointment I've been putting off. That's right, I visited my dentist. I have to admit I was a couple of months behind on my cleaning, and I just knew that I was in for a beatdown. But alas, both my dentist and my hygienist gave me major props on my chops.
They said that they could tell I've been brushing and both my teeth and my gums were in great shape. I let them know I had started using Buck Brush, the superior electric toothbrush that delivers the quality of a $150 toothbrush